What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all so much for joining us here at Chad's Media for another episode of the Tyler Lennon Show. We have a very special guest with us today, but first, we want to say a quick thank you to all of our supporting sponsors for making this happen. AFCO Roofing, The Beauty Parlor, and Realtor Lindsay Lee. Again, thank y'all so much for making this happen. Like I said, we have a very special guest with us today. It is the founder of FitWhit, Whitney Vaughan. Whitney, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So, like I said, you're the founder of FitWhit. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and about FitWhit?
Yes, so like you said, my name is Whitney Vaughan. I did start a nutrition business about a year ago. Kind of just came up with the name a few months back though, FitWhit. So started off with doing meal plans for just one friend, and it's just grown from there. So customized meal plans to meet macro numbers that I will calculate for my clients and then help coach them through those numbers.
Awesome.
Send out weekly plans with exactly what you're supposed to eat, when you can eat it, the grocery list, recipes, and all the good things that go along with the meal plan.
Yes, ma'am. Now, can you tell us a little bit about just your own personal journey with fitness and nutrition and everything?
Yes, so I kind of feel like all of my adult life, I've been pretty physically active, either involved in some type of gym or workout program of some sort. Dabbled in running, of course, here and there. And I always felt like I was physically fit, things were good. Always felt pretty good. Felt pretty good confidence-wise in myself until probably a couple years ago, after having my third kid, a few months after having my third kid, and having other friends that I just kind of watched be really awesome at working out, and they're just being physically fit and being healthy, and it was kind of encouraging for me to start doing macros. So a friend of mine helped me get started with macros, and I kept up with it, researched, learned, watched videos, and then just started making my own really strict meal plans. And that's kind of when I started really seeing a difference in my health and the way that I looked, my confidence, the way clothes fit, and all those things. So I feel like I can truly say that nutrition and what we're putting in our body is truly what is going to give you the edge over...
Make the big difference.
Yeah, it's going to give you the edge over really trying to look a specific way or really feel good and feel fueled for all the things that we do each day.
Yes, ma'am. How big of a commitment was that, just even with just the meal planning and stuff like that? Because I know obviously if you're working out regularly or exercising regularly, obviously, you're committing to that. But I feel like, and maybe this is just a me thing, but I feel like, especially with what it is you're eating, I feel like that would be a tough commitment.
It was, especially to begin with. And I always tell people that are getting started with me, give yourself a grace period. Give yourself a couple weeks. Number one, your body's going to have to adjust to oftentimes probably putting more food in it than it's used to. I think most of the time people aren't eating as much as they think they should. So that can be an adjustment. Taking the time on the weekend, I take a few hours on a Sunday afternoon and I prep my food for the week, but I can tell myself mentally, okay, I'm done though,
Yes, ma'am.
Grab my lunch and go, my dinner's done for the week. So I committed those hours on one day to save time the rest of the week.
Yes, ma'am.
But then it's like, you do have to kind of change your habits of food. I told someone just a few days ago, eating an apple, probably a little over 2 years ago, I could probably count on one hand the amount of apples that I'd eaten in my whole life. But now I'll just eat them 3 or 4 a week because that's what I've trained myself to do. And now I love them, So
I was about to say, this week alone, I think I've seen you eat 3 apples.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure.
So instead of going and grabbing cookies or going and grabbing a snack cake or something, I just go get an apple or something like that. So I feel like it is an adjustment. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time you're retraining your body, but you're also retraining your brain to make good habits.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now, once you get into that, is it pretty easy to find your flow and keep it rolling, or?
I feel like it, yes. So consistently, I've done it now for a little over 2 years. when I go on vacation, or if I know I'm fixing to start a big cut, like I'll give myself a break, So within all that, it's not like I've got a specific number that I'm following every single day, 365 days a year. I do give myself some breaks in there, but consistency is key for sure.
Yes, ma'am. I have a few more questions for you, but first we want to hear a quick word from our supporting sponsors, and we'll be right back with more.
Hi, I'm Audra Clark, owner and stylist of The Beauty Parlor. We are located at 206 West Shannon Road in Sulphur Springs, Texas. We are Tony and Guy trained, and we specialize in custom cut and color. You're already beautiful. Come let us highlight it.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Lee, realtor at Caldwell Banker Watson Company in Sulphur Springs. Born and raised in Hopkins County, I am the small town realtor you are looking for to help buy or sell your home. I specialize in farm and ranch, residential, and lake properties. Contact me today and let me do the work for you. Get your key with Lindsay Lee.
At Avco Roofing, we strive to fulfill our mission statement of protecting homes, strengthening families, and building community. It's more than a slogan. It's the heartbeat of who we are and how we serve our customers. Located in Sulphur Springs near I-30 and Broadway, there's no project we can't handle. Call Avco Roofing for all your home and commercial property needs.
And we're back. Whitney, you were telling us a little bit about the meal planning and everything. I'm curious, how would that work in terms of, is that different for each person, for each client? Like if me and your husband, let's say, started on the same day, would we be on the same thing, or is it kind of catered to each individual person?
That's a great question. So my meal plans are customizable, so based off of the client. So I look at a few things. I look at what your current weight is, any goals you might have, which again is different for everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
It could be weight loss, but other things play into that as well. And then I also look at your activity level, so how often you're exercising. And I have people that exercise 5 or 6 times a week, and I have some that don't exercise at all right now, and that's perfectly fine. So those 3 things help me know where to set your numbers at, and we go from there. So that's going to tell me how many grams of protein you need, how many grams of fat you need, and how many carbohydrates you need per day. So the goal is to hit those numbers as closely as possible every day. And yes, your physique is different than somebody else's, so they are going to look very different.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what makes it pretty cool. And that's what makes it work for people, is because it's not a one-size-fits-all.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then, it's easy to adjust, because if we see that you're not seeing the results that you want, well, let's just change some things up and see how that goes.
Yes, ma'am. Out of curiosity, if this is something that I was trying to get into, how would I get in touch with you? What would I need to do to say, okay, I'm ready to get started. Let's do this.
Okay, so I do have an Instagram page. It's FitWhit 903.
Awesome. And any of the socials, I think, will be able to pop up on the screen. But go ahead and say I'm just, sorry to cut you off.
So that's probably how most people reach out to me. I've had a lot of people reach out through just my personal Facebook, but I have started a Facebook page that's also FitWhit 903.
Awesome.
So just messaging me through either of those domains, and I will have a website up soon. It'll be fit-wit.com. So awesome. Be on the lookout for that. It has my package information and ways to contact me on there as well.
Awesome. Now, you had mentioned earlier you had always been pretty active in exercising and everything. Can you tell me a little bit about your involvement? I know you're real big into CrossFit and everything. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I love CrossFit. So I actually was in CrossFit a few years back before I had River. I did it for a couple of years. Again, the same friend that kind of helped me get started with macros is kind of who encouraged me to help me get started with CrossFit back in 2016. So I did it for a couple years then. It really just hits in on my competitive side.
Yes, ma'am.
So, it's that I love, and then the community of it all. I mean, to be in a place where everyone's there for the same goal, there's just something to be said about that dynamic. We push each other, we cheer each other on. So I took a break when I had River, then got back into it almost a little over 2 years ago, and I've been consistent with it. I love the workouts that come with it. It's really kind of crazy to see what your body can do.
Yes,
you know? And so it's like, it's putting your body to the test, but lots of times it's putting your mind to the test.
Right.
You know, having to overcome with your thoughts that, no, keep going. Like,
things
you can
you
do
thought,
this.
oh, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. And then being able to watch other people and be like, holy crap, I want to try that. Or I think I can do that. So
I always thought that would probably be like the biggest and best part of it. One, you know, people that you're not necessarily actively competing against, but like, you know, they're there, you're seeing how hard they're working, you're seeing that they can do it, but also the cheering on aspect of it. I think when you combine those two things, you probably definitely can get to a point that you didn't think you'd maybe be able to get to.
Exactly. And like, I have friends that I mean, when one of us is finished, the other one's sitting there right beside you, cheering him on, you know, like, keep going, you can do this, you're almost there, like, you got this, and it's just really cool.
Obviously, I think CrossFit would be a great example, but for, you know, the people that you're doing the meal preps for and everything, is there a specific, in terms of what kind of exercise they need to be doing or anything? Like you said, you cater it to their needs, to what it is they're doing, but if you were to give recommendations or anything like that, would it be, you need to at least be doing this, or?
I think it's kind of based off of, like, what your body can handle. You know, I was just thinking earlier today, some people, they just may need to start off with walking or jogging, you know. Some can go into the gym and hit the weight. Some can start CrossFit tomorrow, you know, and hit it really hard. So I really think it's just whatever your body can handle. I would say, I do think like 30 minutes a day of exercise is good, regardless of what it is that you're dabbling in.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
For the people, maybe this is just myself, or I assume there are more people out there, but for the people, whether it be the exercising or just, you know, sticking to a strict routine with your diet and everything, for the people that might seem intimidating to, is there a way that you can kind of present it to them and be like, I understand why, but, you know, kind of some reassurance there?
Yeah, so I think goal setting and small steps into that, along with, you know, motivation, and that's kind of my role, being the founder of FitWhit. Yes, I'm sending you your plan weekly and all the things that go along with that, but I also am checking in with all of my clients each week, like, hey, you said you wanted to work on this. How's this going? Okay, I feel like maybe that's too big of a goal. Let's just start with something small and, you know, check that off your list first, because that's going to be motivating as well.
Or maybe the opposite of that. Hey, you're killing this goal. Why don't we take it to the next thing? Exactly.
So that's all part of what FitWhit offers as well. Yeah.
Awesome. You had mentioned setting goals and everything. What are your future goals with FitWhit?
Right now, still, you know, continuing to grow and help anyone that is wanting some help right now. But I think, you know, eventually becoming affiliated with some bigger brand names, and maybe eventually offering some type of fitness coaching along with the meal plans.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, I think right now that's what I can wrap my brain around.
I think that would definitely help, though, because like you said, with the fitness coaching and everything, to see, I think to me it's almost like when you're playing sports, to have a coach, to know that, oh, I can see them do it. I can see them give me this instruction. I think that would definitely, you know, help in terms of, you know, oh, now I can see what I need to be doing, or just something, you know, having that extra help.
Yeah. So I want to be able to just continue to help people feel good about themselves and also be healthy.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is an awesome goal to have.
Yeah.
Again, can you tell us, I know you already said it, and we'll have the socials on the screen, but you mind one more time telling us how we can get in touch with you and everything?
Yeah. Okay, so my Instagram page is going to be FitWhit903, and I also have a Facebook page that's the same, FitWhit903. So just messaging me through either of those is probably the best way to get in touch, and we'll get some info from you and get you going.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything that I'm leaving out?
I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for taking the time. Again, you know, I think this is something that, like I said, I think a lot of people, you know, would love to hear about and be interested in. And again, you know, some people might find intimidating, but like you said, you're making it very clear, like, no matter where you're at on an exercise or a diet level, you know, you can adapt to them and find something that works for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Whitney, again, thank you so much. And thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned. We have tons of great content coming up on Chad's Media this month that I know you're not going to miss out on. So please stay tuned. We'll see y'all then.